You're listening to the Last Man In podcast. Covering Winnipeg hockey and the NHL.
Scheifele dances his way in. Scheifele scores! Blake Wheeler finds the far corner. And the Winnipeg Jets win it in overtime.
Woo, woo, woo.
Last Man In podcast, number 121. I am here this week to defend myself against you assholes.
Why? What did I win?
Animals.
What?
The first 15 minutes of the podcast was just shitting on me and the gifts part and just friendship last week. Do you guys not remember this?
I don't remember
You
this
don't
at all.
recall
I don't
this.
know.
You don't
No,
recall
I
just
don't.
shitting on me for a good 15 minutes.
I don't remember
You should go
that.
back and listen to it.
I have listened to it twice. I don't know at what point we'd be making fun of you.
Oh yeah, mostly the entire thing. Then when and then you hang up on me.
Oh, yeah.
He did. I asked him.
I definitely did.
I called him out on that.
None of that.
And he didn't even do it. He's just like,
Beat a guy down when he's not even here.
Yeah.
Rub salt in the wound. Listening to that, I'm like, fuck you.
How did the Wi-Fi go when you finally got back in the hotel room? Was it okay?
Fuck you guys.
I don't remember.
I don't know
the
what he's
making
talking
fun
about.
part, actually.
Oh, listen to the first 10 minutes. It's just
Okay.
It's just making fun of Greg.
I thought we were making fun of Carrie.
No, there's some making fun of Greg in there.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't a fan.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan.
Well, you're back here now. You can
Exactly.
fix
You
it.
came
Steer the
back, that's
ship
your-
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you guys.
No, that's me.
There's no flow.
There's no flow.
I think I called you out on that last
No,
week, too.
No, you did.
You said it when I was on the phone. You're like, Cam's slow is worse than yours. I'm like, well, it takes years of practice, and by years I mean we've been doing this for 2 years.
We literally,
and we still don't.
We
know what
started
to
the
do.
podcast by talking about the Jets' 3-game losing streak, and we never came back. We never came back to it. We never finished our thought on it. The
And
whole
we
hour.
never talked about any.
Nothing.
Yeah, and I didn't even tease anything. We still didn't come back to it.
That's smart, though.
Okay, now I will be teasing stuff today.
Perfect. All ready to write down.
Jets news. Jet stuff. Their last week of hockey. Talk about the Moose and the special promo they have this week. Then moving into the mailbag, we're going to talk about the Panthers firing their head coach and who the real coach killer is on the Florida Panthers, as well as the Garrett Sparks situation. A couple players returning to injury this week, including Jack Eichel, and I want to talk about his impact on the Buffalo Sabres. Talk about Craig Anderson and his recent success. Talk about Yager and his him being 8 points away from history. And then Ovechkin and his goal-scoring pace, which is just
And I have
insane.
I have an awesome stat that I'll share later, too.
And then we'll go to Patrick's Parade. And this week, with Patrick's Parade, we're featuring the one signing that they made this offseason that each team made. That is in there. That is one player that is making more than $5.5 million. Each team signed one player that's making more than $5.5
I think you
million.
narrowed down at least one player here that we're very familiar with here on this team. A certain team in Manhattan on an island. No, you don't.
The Rangers aren't in the bottom of the league.
Manhattan Island.
No,
Brooklyn
no.
Island.
I think
The
Brooklyn's
island.
just a
Long Island,
city.
Long
Andrew
Island.
Ladd is what I'm talking about.
Yes, Andrew Ladd is in
Okay,
there.
perfect.
But there's other players as well.
I don't know where. I can't. You point at a map. I can't tell you where things are. I know where Texas is.
Yes,
big?
it's big.
Yeah.
I can tell you where California is.
I know North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Texas, California, Florida.
Try doing
That's
the 13
it.
colonies. It's impossible.
Colonies. What?
Yeah. Okay, when America was initially
Do we have
established,
to?
it was,
Oh my!
we're not going through it, but there was 13 colonies.
Oh, geez.
Did you not learn this in school?
I went to French
It was the
school.
original
No.
13 states.
I went to
but
French
it's like the
immersion
13
school.
colonies of. It was like. Didn't England own it?
They didn't teach me because I went to French immersion, and this is how
Cam
they were
learned
like.
about the one colony, Quebec.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
were like, no, they're like, hey, Louis Riel?
Yeah.
He kept it real.
Made Manitoba.
Held it down.
Yeah, no.
And they were
13
like, no, we
colonies
got
is
it.
like Maine. I believe it's Maine, Delaware, Massachusetts.
Don't ask me.
All that
History's
eastern,
bad.
Rhode Island, all that eastern seaboard.
Oh,
That was
okay.
the 13 colonies.
Oh, wow.
If I'm incorrect, you can correct me.
Did we
because
just get a new episode for summertime? 13 colonies with Greg.
Oh God. I'll
It's a
explain.
spin-off it's a side series.
I'll explain PDO.
Last man in
Summer.
the PDO of the 13 colonies. Okay, so this team was real accurate at shooting.
But their
they
save
sucked
percentage
with-
awful.
Yeah. Lots of deaths on their team.
Okay, so the Jets played yesterday, a matinee game at noon. So we had a bunch of drunks by 3 o'clock.
Oh, drunk.
Break
I
up
don't
Sunday.
think
What do you want? What
I don't
else do you
think
want to
people
do?
stopped drinking, like at all.
Probably not.
No.
Not even a bit.
No, they went from 11 o'clock.
The night
all-
before.
Well, they probably didn't stop.
That's
Let's
what
be
I'm
honest.
getting at. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I was up till like 5 on Saturday.
Jesus.
I was going hard.
I was up
having
till
fun.
like 1:30, and I'm like, God, I'm too old for this, guys. I gotta go to bed. Yeah.
So that happened.
Okay, so we had some drunk,
No.
but the crowd wasn't terrible.
I didn't watch any of the game. All I know is that they did shut out the Predators 3-0, and Connor Hellebuck stood on his head.
Yeah, he played
Those
well.
are the things that I heard.
Jets played well as a team.
Yeah, I watched a whole game.
I watched the game. They
pretty good.
They played well.
And garbage goal Scheifele got an empty netter.
God, you guys.
Garbage goal, Shifley.
That was he got
Garbage
an empty
time.
netter in
Oh, I know.
garbage time.
No, I
Garbage
know.
time.
Totally.
I was thinking, you know what I'm
But
gonna
I'm
do?
pretty
this
sure
year?
that's his first empty netter of the year, is it not?
Probably.
I
yeah.
think so.
13th empty netter of the year. He only has
He
like
has
10
12
goals.
but he scored 13.
13 empty netters.
You know what I'm
Boom.
gonna do by the
Yeah.
end of the year? Quote
Hashtag
me on it.
verified.
I was thinking about it when he scored that goal. I started, that closing time. I'm
Yeah.
gonna change your words and make it garbage time
Oh.
for Sheffield. So, garbage time.
Cleanup time.
What's
Yeah,
that?
you could say
Cleanup
the
time.
same thing with Blake Bortles. Only a good quarterback in the fourth quarter. They're down by
He's
14.
never a good quarterback,
No,
ever.
they're down by 14 every week going into the fourth quarter, and he only has like 8 fantasy points. I'm like, I'm fine. He's going to end up with 20. He's going to throw 2 touchdowns and an interception, cause his team to lose, but he's still going to throw for like 300 yards. Because that's what Blake Bortles
I don't think
does.
he's ever a good quarterback. Like ever.
He's been good.
Greg, we'll give you the out clause. Like, you could get a new team if you want. Jags,
No.
Falcons.
No,
you
no.
can leave them.
I am a Falcons fan.
You can leave them.
No,
It's okay.
Falcons is my team.
No,
I give
come
him
on,
props
no.
for cheering for the Jaguars.
Oh, sorry.
They're
Cheer for the team that doesn't win.
Cheer for the team that wins. They have 5.
Oh, sorry,
there,
sorry.
I think. I don't even know how many wins they
Minnesota.
have.
What was their record after week 5?
5-0.
What's their record since?
Not 5-0. I don't know the record. I don't think they've won since, to be honest.
I think they're 0-6 in their last 6
No,
games.
they're
Perfect,
1 and
that's
5 because they're
1 and
6 and 5.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. 6 and 5.
They'll still make the
Fine.
playoffs. They're fine.
Yeah.
No, they won't.
They
Not
got
with
a
Sam
new
Bradford.
stadium.
Oh yeah, that you got to pay $6 million to
New
go play
stadium
to
that
go
looks
watch
super
football.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
Are you
that's all I
are
got.
you gonna break
I
the
haven't
bank
even
and go
watched
to
the
a
game
game
in the
then?
new stadium this year yet. Haven't even seen it once.
I drove by it and it was intimidating. I was like, Jesus! Oh my God! Look how big that thing is.
It's
oh.
a lot bigger than our stadium.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I
you
would
know what?
hope
It's
so.
bigger than ours, and it's got a roof on it.
Wow.
And the windows tint.
You'd think when you live in a cold climate, you'd actually want to have a roof.
There is a roof for our stadium. It doesn't fit though.
No.
It's in storage at the U of M, like legit.
Shut the hell
No,
up.
legit doesn't fit. I've been told that there's a roof somewhere in storage.
How did they put that? Where's this roof?
It's a bubble and it covers the field, so if they were to put it on, it would come down in front of the stands. So that literally, like, they could practice indoors.
Oh yes, I've heard about this.
It's like a
They
bubble
wanna
that
do
like it like covers the top, but then it comes down right in front of the stands, so you
Yeah.
can't. It's like they couldn't use it for a game.
The whole purpose, they want to be able to use the stadium in the wintertime as well.
But they
So,
haven't
like,
for the last.
I know.
Since it's been named.
There's been a lot of problems with that stadium.
Yeah. Nonetheless,
Let's get real.
the Jets did win Sunday, but Friday was a different story. They were playing Nashville, and Nashville wore their yellow helmets.
No, they
Yes.
wear them perennial. Like they got rid of the blue ones.
Oh.
Those are hideous. I'm sorry. Oh,
I think if there's a way to build a brand, you do it that way. They've done
well,
a
you can
great
build
job.
a brand. It just
They've
looks
done a great
horrendous.
job. Great job.
In the third, Nashville got what, like 3 or 4?
I didn't
goals?
watch the
Three
game.
My
goals.
God, they just piled it and they weren't. And you know what? I
You
like?
could tell
Jets
after
started taking penalties, though.
Tanev's penalty, his 5-minute major, you could really tell Sale, like they were gassed. They were 5-game road trip?
Yeah.
5-game road
Oh,
trip.
4 out of 5.
Oh,
Oh no,
and
it was 5.
They were 0-5
0-5.
on that road trip. They were 0-4 going into this game. They were gassed. You
They
have half
played-
the team as AHLers.
They played well in a couple of the games on the road trip. Like the Carolina game, they played well. They took too many penalties, and that's why they lost that game. The Minnesota game, they played well. They had some bad breaks.
I don't know how this team takes so many penalties.
They were good up until a couple of games ago. They were
Yeah.
really good. They weren't
I don't
doing
know.
like last year. They took way too many. They just get over aggressive.
You know who's been especially over aggressive? Maybe just because I don't know what's going on trying to establish himself as a leader. Mark Scheifele. Every penalty I've seen of his, pretty either like a tripping or hooking, where it's like
He
don't
took a
really
bad
need
one
to
on
do-
Friday. I think.
That's what I'm thinking of. Where
but he
like, was
hasn't-
it cross check or
No, it was
roughing?
a slash.
Slash. Yeah, okay. There
He
you go,
hasn't
yeah.
done that much this year. He's been pretty good, but I don't know. It was a bad road trip, but the game yesterday made up for it.
But
I think-
one decent win, 5 games, and those
but
teams, the teams
6
that they
games.
beat, 6. The teams that they beat, though, they should be beating. Preds,
Yeah.
Wild, they should take the Wild just based off of their offensive ability. Because Wild, if you
Minnesota
get 2
plays
goals-
like they've always been boring. They're really boring this year. Like,
You know what's-
holy crap!
They're basing a lot of their play on how well Dubnyk plays, but
You mean
you
Devin
got-
Carey Price Dubnyk?
yes,
Oh my
you got to think like the Jets still don't have a complete lineup. Like
They're missing
Perot's starting to
4 of
skate
their
now.
top 9, I think?
Perot's still like
7
still
of their
out.
starters have been out for most
Brian
of the year.
Little's still out. Like
He's coming back tomorrow.
Kyle
most
Connor.
likely. Connor's back.
Connor's back. now.
Stafford's back.
But these guys, their first games are Sunday.
Stafford played Minnesota game. He's played
Did
3.
he?
He's played
Oh,
3
okay.
games.
But still,
Connor's
Stafford's,
first game
yeah.
was yesterday.
Yeah.
Little's probably back tomorrow night.
Against the Devils?
The problem is
What a
that
boring team.
I get to go see him.
the problem is that to be cleared, these guys have to go through a full contact practice. The Jets haven't had a practice for a month.
Oh,
That's why these guys haven't come back because they haven't had a chance
why
to.
can't they just pretend to smudge of papers?
Like, do you know?
Well, they had a practice in Nashville on the 3rd.
that-
Nobody's saying
but they
that's
can't.
just-
That was their first practice in a month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
So that's why, now you're seeing Stafford's back, Little's going to be back, Perot's probably going to be back by the end of the week. Like, these guys are going to be back because
And
they
I
can
also
finally
don't-
skate now.
And also that 5 game. That's why everyone was saying, oh, they're going to be back end of November for most of these guys, is because they looked at their schedule. They're like, it's impossible. Once that 5-game road trip's over, a lot of those guys can come back because I can guarantee you, most of them weren't on that road trip. None of them were. Maybe
I wouldn't
I
even
think
bring him.
Little went, but I think he went and he skated, but he couldn't be cleared for
Yeah.
contact because the doctors in Winnipeg.
He just didn't want to be around for Christmas shopping. So
No,
we went for
it's
a fun.
fucking insane.
He wanted Black Friday American deals.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
what he wanted.
Yeah, he did.
That's what he
Did you
wanted.
see some of the deals for
I
Black
got
Friday?
some deals.
You got some deals.
Sport Check had a
Yeah,
really
it
good
was.
deal.
Actually,
What
I
was
got 2 deals.
50% off Jets jerseys,
Heritage.
including heritage ones.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh,
They were like,
okay, I saw
what,
Dan the next day.
$90
when I-
bucks?
That's not
Taxes
bad.
in, it was I think 87 or something.
That's
Yeah,
not bad at all.
and they had like for like a Shifley or like a Bufflin.
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
like the plastic twill, but it's still like customized jersey, which is awesome.
Yeah,
It was
that's
plastic.
still
What?
Plastic.
Plastic twill,
What's that?
heat press twill.
He pressed 12.
It's
It was
okay.
stitched.
Yeah, the name bar was stitched, and so was
And-
the
and-
one number. But it was like the numbers. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
The numbers were both stitched in the ones I saw.
They're not. It's not stitching. It's.
No, I'll show you. You have both.
It
You
wasn't
have both.
pressed though. It was. It
Yeah,
was
no,
it
that's
was a
what we're
hard-
talking about.
Hard
I'll
number, hard
you have
logos.
both. I'll show you the
Okay,
difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
No point arguing on that.
No, but it was
but
crazy good deals.
it was a good deal.
Thanks for
Yeah.
asking what I got. I got
Yeah.
boots.
You got
Winter
boots? I need new shoes. With
They
my
still-
my scouting report ruined one of my pairs. So
Don't buy shoes.
tough
5
one.
boots.
yeah, my
How
scouting
up
report.
north did you go?
I didn't
Don't
go
tell us
super
where
up
you
north.
went. That's a
I didn't go
secret.
super up north. There was no snow there.
No.
There's
So,
no snow, but they
there's no
stole
snow.
your shoes.
No, I just ruined a pair. That's
Stole
all.
them. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Greg went to
Ruined.
Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah.
I wish.
You know who did go to Sweden?
Who's that?
Toby Enstrom.
Why?
Oh
He left
yeah.
the team. He's got family issues. They don't know when he's going to be back.
I did not know about that.
Yeah.
That happened on
found out
Thursday.
yesterday.
Yeah, he's gone. He's back in Sweden.
So what does that mean for a cap situation? Like obviously I don't care that much, but I'm just curious.
Salary cap.
Like
It still counts.
It
They're
still
just giving
counts.
him a leave of
They're
absence.
giving him a
leave
leave
back.
from the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's just kind of
Um,
like it. Like,
But it was
go-
really fun because Jacob Trouba and Josh Morrissey play on the same deep.
That was so nice.
And that was fun
I
to
liked
watch.
it.
That was good.
Did
Were
you
they
see his
good?
interview?
Trouba's been very good.
It wasn't terrible.
Yesterday, Trouba was he was the best player on the ice yesterday.
When Morrissey was doing an interview, that was on Friday. He did the first period intermission or
Yeah.
interview. He was doing it. He's like, he said it, and then he did a really quick quip there. He was just like, "Yeah, it's really fun playing on the left side." And when he said left side, he like right down the barrel of the camera, and he's like, "No, I really like playing with Jacob Trouba. He can play on the right side. I'll play left side." And he was just like, I'm like, "Did anyone else catch that? Come on, guys."
Trouba's
That's
been good. Did you watch the game yesterday? He
I
was
did.
probably
I did.
the best player on the ice.
I didn't pay that much attention
He
to
was
the game.
very
You know what
good.
the other thing,
he was
too?
rushing the puck end to end like he did in his first year. He was hitting. He tried to kill Mike Ribeiro.
Good.
He did. I saw that.
That was a good
But-
open ice head down. Like
Okay, are the Jets bad on penalty kill? Because I haven't watched
They're
too many
just-
games. But man, they got like unless
they're
Nashville,
good, but the problem is they take too many penalties, and eventually it catches up.
Here's the thing with
That's the
with the
problem.
Jets, but I feel the Jets penalty kill isn't bad. It's just a little bit more passive than other teams. Like you watch Nashville, they haven't allowed a goal on the power play yet at home. Like their penalty kill is perfect at home. Yeah,
Well,
They're also 7-1-1 at home right
their
now.
power play though, like just specifically against the Jets, because I've seen them play twice in the last 4
Yeah.
days against the Jets. They held the puck the whole time.
Yeah,
Like
there's-
the
The
Jets
Jets
didn't
have
get
a very
close to 'em.
passive penalty.
Yeah, that's
kill.
what he was saying.
Like they
yeah.
don't pressure, and
Yeah.
they should pressure a little more. But yesterday,
They force to the outside, but they
Yeah.
still get shots.
but yesterday they were playing New York Rangers hockey because they blocked like 40 shots.
10 have probably had 28 of those.
Yeah, like
But like I was saying,
It was-
you watch Nashville and it's like uber aggressive, and it's because they have the skaters on penalty kill. It's not saying the Jets don't, but they have the skaters on penalty kill to do it, like Colin Smith and those kinds of guys who just balls to the wall. It's like if Brandon Tanev was 6'3" and just went balls to the wall all the time, and that's what Nashville has. So
And they have a bunch
so
of them
Blake
too.
Wheeler.
yeah,
Hey, guys.
but he plays more pat.
He plays passive.
Do you know who's looking great right now?
Who?
Ryan Johansson. I think Ryan Johansson is going to lead the league in points. It's only a matter of time.
You think so?
My
Are
prediction.
you
I
being-
just want my prediction. To
Oh,
come
okay.
true.
Is that what you predicted?
I don't know. It's crazy.
They Nashville's an interesting team just because they are very, very good at home and very shitty on the road. But I guess we're here. It's past now the quarter point of the season. You guys should have talked about it last week. But
Oh,
you
thanks.
didn't. You didn't. You
So
didn't.
now you were.
Yeah, but okay, hey, the Jets were past the quarter point, but every other team was like 5 games behind them.
I know. What is the realistic goal from here? Right now, they're
Jets?
I believe 2 points out
Their
of the
goal
playoff
right
spot.
now, make playoffs.
tank it.
Playoffs. They're you know what?
What is the realistic goal for this season? Do you think
Wild
playoffs
card?
are there?
playoffs?
Yeah.
They're
I
good
think-
enough to get in, and they're like
They might
everything.
win a game.
Everything is so close
playoffs?
this year.
They might.
Like the teams are all so close this year. Like they're very much they very realistically could make the playoffs
But here's the other thing.
It's so
gonna-
weird with like
because everything is so close this year. There's not really like Montreal's pulling away. Chicago's a little bit ahead, but everyone else is like.
LA's won 5 straight.
But they're
Jeff
still
Carter's
right
gone-
in that.
Did you
in
see that
bubble.
crazy Jeff Carter stat? They've gone into overtime 5 times this year.
Yeah,
He's got the winner out of 4 of them.
clutch.
When Jeff Carter and Ovechkin, just example, when Ovechkin's on the top left hash mark, stand beside him.
Yeah.
What Zaitsev did the other night, just stand beside him. He's not
All you
getting that
gotta
puck. When Carter's on the ice, 3 people on Jeff Carter. Ignore the other 2 players.
So what you're saying is in overtime,
Yep.
when there's 3-on-3,
Yeah.
you're saying every player just go to Jeff Carter?
Chances are your chances are better if all 3 of you are on Jeff Carter.
Okay.
Nashville employed that strategy against Line last night or yesterday. The Jets had a 5-on-3 or 5-on-4, and he got the puck in the slot, and all 5 guys just went. All 4 guys went. Whoof, right at
So
him.
even if they knew going in,
It
like,
works.
hey, if we lose
works.
tonight, our goal, don't let Liney score.
Yeah.
Don't.
It works.
Because Connor called him up, and he's like, guys, I want that scoring time.
When was the last time? I'm not trying to.
Go.
I made a stat yesterday. I want to know if it's true. When was the last time Linus scored? Was it the hat trick game?
Chicago game, like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago tomorrow.
Shit.
2 weeks ago tomorrow.
No, but that was still 6.
No, it's not about that.
7 games, 8 games.
I thought it was a hat trick against.
No, he's got one. He has 1 goal in his last 9 games.
Because I was
or
going to make the
something.
stat that Patrick Laine hasn't scored a goal since Trump was elected president, but that's not a true stat.
But
unfortunately.
did you guys know that Ovi's only had 16 hatties? Now that I say it sounds insane, but he's only had 16 hatties for the amount.
Do you want to
of
know
goals he
something else
scored.
really weird about Ovechkin? We're going to talk about him later.
Oh, okay.
But
sorry.
one really weird thing: how many games do you think he's missed in his career?
Games like per season or total?
No, just total games.
How many seasons has he
14.
played? How many seasons has he played?
A little low, but I think it's 10 or 11 at this point.
10 or 11
it can't be
seasons
very
or
many games, though.
82.
50? 50 games.
I'm going to say 38.
He's healthy.
26.
14 wasn't a little low.
No,
Well, it was
It
a
was
little
low, but like
It wasn't ridiculously low.
now this is coming from guys who do Winnipeg Jets podcast, where every week we're talking about another player getting hurt. That is because they all talked about. I remember in his first few seasons, just
I know exactly where you're going with this.
how his play style wasn't going to be. He wasn't going to be durable enough to last his play style because he was a hard hitting guy. Now he doesn't hit as much as he used to, but he plays tough minutes against top lines and he scores still at astronomical rates, which we're going to talk about later in the podcast. But Ovechkin's still crazy. The last thing I want to talk about with the Jets before we move on. Obviously, I've shit on Line enough. I'm gonna get I'm gonna.
By the way, I
pooping on
mixed up.
Patrick's line.
I
Pooping
pooping on
on-
Patrick's lane. I actually in last episode I realized I said pooping on Patrick's parade the whole time.
Did you?
I did.
Wow.
But anyways,
The one segment I was a part of. So you're
Overconfident.
Nonetheless, I'm going to give him some slack. Like, obviously, I'm a Leaf fan, so I've seen what happens with Matthews. I tweeted that shocking how these guys are not scoring every game, and they're rookies, and they're streaky. Wow, who would know? Who would have guessed that rookies would be
You
streaky?
can't be a top 5 pick and be
Everybody.
streaky. That is unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Yeah, no.
I mean,
I
he,
disagree.
he was on pace for 76 goals
Yeah.
as of 2 weeks ago. So,
But-
I mean, he's probably going to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. The other thing with Line as well is I think teams are going to play him a little differently now than they were at the beginning of the year, and he'll just have to adjust to it, and he's going to. Like,
Well,
that should-
teams are very much aware of him now.
Yeah. So I would say don't shit
Except
on
for
him
Dallas.
too much.
Except for Dallas. They just let,
Dallas
they just let him
doesn't
score. They're like, yeah, we'll save it.
Hey,
it's fine.
you let
It's-
Sagan score, we'll let Patrick score. That's how this works,
fine.
right, guys?
We want to have a 9-8 game too.
yeah.
Exactly. So you believe playoffs realistic goal? Playoffs?
I'll say wild card, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
wildcard.
I think where they are right now, even though they're 9-12-2 or whatever it is.
10, 12, and I think they're 10, 12, and 2. now.
9. Oh,
They
whatever.
won yesterday.
I want to see
12.
him play Nashville.
Nonetheless.
Playoffs? That'd be good.
That'd be good. That would be really good. Nonetheless, I still think playoffs are more or less in reach for this team. And once they get all their guys back, and with Hellebuck starting to really take over that number one role and play like he did last night or yesterday, this team is going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
So the Moose have a very nice evening planned for Saturday at
It's
2
Saturday
o'clock.
afternoon.
Evening planned for Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Maybe this is why Greg's always late to stuff. Yeah, it's the evening at 2 p.m.
I've never been late to anything. You can't name one thing I've been late to ever. Ever.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100%
Never
right.
slept through a hockey game before. Never showed up late to an engagement party that
Hey,
I'm in
when's
the wedding
Christmas?
party for.
What day's Christmas?
29th of December
That's correct, at 3 a.m.
at 3 a.m. That's when Santa comes down your chimney.
Santee comes down. Greg's there waiting with a bat.
There was one
Wants
thing.
the bag.
There was
me the
one thing I
presents.
wasn't late for though, Cam,
What's that?
and it was last year's premiere of Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
That's right,
Which-
I was there.
Shoehorns us into Star Wars Day, December 3rd for the Manitoba Moose, and it's going to be awesome.
They have sweet warm-up jerseys because they're not playing in them in the game, but it's R2D4 or something like that, right? Is that the guy's name? R5D8? No? What number is that? Dan, you want to correct me if there's... Or is that's correct, right?
R6Z2.
There you go, buddy. And I bet they're going to...
You monsters!
Or do
I
you mean
bet-
It's R2D2!
Obviously.
He means,
I know!
He means Jar Jar Skywalker.
Fuck you guys.
Obi-Wan.
Game!
Fuck you.
Hold on.
Fuck all you.
Part of the promo...
Fuck you
they
guys.
were-
Fuck you. I'm
Part-
swearing.
part of
This
the-
is why
hold
we
on.
have this.
Part of the promo, like, they're hyping it up. They're asking Jets players, like, who their favorite guy is. And Scott Glennie, he's like, none. Who's Harrison Ford? Yeah, that guy. Clearly has never seen it. I was waiting, like, just on the edge of my seat. I'm like, someone say Jar Jar. Someone say Jar Jar. I bet that guy who said Jar Jar, they're not putting him in
They
the
kind
video.
of like, do it again.
No one actually likes Jar Jar.
He's the guy who got me into Star Wars. He was hilarious.
I liked
His
him.
comedic genius.
He wasn't
Like,
the best
he's
part of the series,
Jar Jar.
but he was good.
I liked him.
It was fine.
My favorite scene, like, of all time when I was younger was where they're in that cool, like, that water land with the cool, like, swimmy part. Because I had one of the spaceships and I played with it in my bathtub.
There you
I was
go.
12, but I still did it.
You were 12?
10 or 12 when it came out, right?
We were 8. It was
No.
99 when the
was
movie
it?
came
Oh,
out.
then
yeah.
I was 8. Perfect.
The movies
Anyways,
came out in
Sure.
99,
Sure
2002,
you were.
2005.
Yeah, but Jar Jar Binks,
I know, I'm actually curious. I believe you were probably 12. Did your mom make bubbles for you in the bath as well, Cam?
She did. She
Yeah.
makes some bubs. They're called bubs.
Bubs? Bubs. Mom, can I have a Bubs bath today? Not even bubble bath. Full 12-year-old Cam. Bubs bath,
Mom,
Bubs.
bubs! Let's go! Fuck!
We want it now, the meatloaf.
Cam's like laying in his bed, watching hockey on his TV. Mom, Bubs time! Bubs time!
Get on it!
It wasn't even bath time for Cam. It was just Bubs time. Nothing else.
That scene in Wedding Crashers with Will Ferrell was inspired by Cam's dialogue with his mom.
Well, did you guys
What
ever-
is she doing in
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
I never know what she's doing.
Did you guys in the bathtub ever go like push your body to one side, then push it back to the other and make a tidal wave? And then try and meet the wave in the middle and make splashes?
No.
Oh, shut
I was
really?
respectful.
Shut up.
I was respectful during
man,
that
I made
time.
a goddamn mess. If there's water damage in the floor beneath my bathroom, all this guy, for sure.
I wish someone followed Cam around with a camera, just filmed his whole life. I would sit there and watch it. Legitimately, I would watch it.
What was that movie that like they followed a kid throughout his entire life? Was it called Boyhood?
Oh, they filmed over like 3
Yeah.
years or 5 years or something?
We should have done that with Cam, starting at like age 5 and going all the way to age 20. Because you would have seen...
Comedy goldmine. That's what that was.
Yeah, exactly. We would have been there for the poop moment where he like shook it down his leg. Could you imagine how many plays that would get on YouTube? Kid shimmies shit down his pants
Right leg.
through his leg.
Legit, though, the best thing I've ever seen is Cam and Carrie's Road Hockey Rumble.
I was not there.
I don't
you know
know,
what?
video.
We have DVD copies.
It's a
of it.
DVD video.
We do.
There's one thing
Oh, man.
that I want to see. It's that.
I can make
Why
that
was
a
it
reality.
taped?
What?
Why did you guys tape
Gary and I
it?
made videos all the time. Like, we have, like, upwards of 10 videos. Like, one of them...
You guys were like trying to be YouTube famous before YouTube
But
was
we
a
didn't
thing.
share with anyone.
Oh.
We didn't put it on the internet.
It
We
was
made
for their own
us.
enjoyment.
Yeah. Like, we made...
Let's put this on Newgrounds. No, Cam, it's just for me and you. That's it.
Yeah.
Not Newgrounds. Newgrounds doesn't get
We
this.
made, but like one of them I made. Well, I'm a Scottish hunter, and I'm hunting a dragon. But I'm also the voice of a dragon and the Scottish hunter. But it only takes place in his house and closets.
Do you have that?
Yep.
I would love to see that.
I think we need to have a nice evening
my
of
sto-
watching Cam and
We
Carrie's
should rent the
home
big
movie.
theater in Assiniboine Park and just show Cam's movies.
But my Scottish voice was like, "Hello, my name is Gerard." Like I just rolled my tongue while talking. That's all I did.
Could you do a Scottish accent now?
Was hello, my name is Gerard. Nonetheless,
Moving on.
Star Wars
Oh, boy.
Day.
No, yeah, Star Wars Day. So they're going to be wearing R2D2 themed jerseys. They'll be auctioning them off. I believe proceeds are going to end up going to a charity. Apparently, I've been told by a source who remains anonymous that the intro video is going to be quite cool. Obviously,
Like
all
the
the marketing.
posters they're giving out.
They're giving out posters, but there's also an intro movie before the game starts. That's supposed to be really cool.
George Lucas is going to drop the puck.
I don't know.
Confirmed.
Maybe.
We're
Or
confirming?
JJ Abrams might
No,
drop.
why would he drop it?
Because JJ's the best.
Didn't he make signs?
He made TF. No?
Yeah?
No,
No.
that was M. Night Shyamalan.
That was
Oh,
M. Night
fuck.
Shyamalan.
I wish
J.J.
M. Night
Abrams,
made
he
it.
did Lost, he did Mission Impossible, he did Star Trek, and then he did Star Wars.
I only like one of those movies. Then.
Cloverfield?
Star Wars. I love Cloverfield. Never mind.
Hey, guys, before we move on, went to Netflix yesterday, and all I see is 10 Cloverfield Lane. So I'm like,
But it's called something
Valencia! What the fuck?
else. Like, what the hell?
It's called Valencia on Netflix Canada.
Isn't that the name that they filmed it under? So
That
no
was
one
the
knew
code
what it
name
was. Yeah,
that they filmed it
it
under.
under some
It's
some
actually 10
code name.
Cloverfield Lane.
I know it is 10 Cloverfield
Yeah.
Lane, but why is it Valencia?
Because when they filmed
When
it
they were
under,
filming it, that's what it was called. So no one would know what
yeah,
they were
like
That's funny.
they had to sign a security clause like in their contract saying like
NDA.
it's or
Because
NDA
like literally,
saying,
the trailer literally came out like a month before the movie
Yeah.
came out, and it was like, oh yeah, by the way, it's Cloverfield.
and they announced
It
it
was
at like a Comic-Con type deal, like
Yeah.
a convention. They're like, why is it called Valencia? And he's just like, it's actually let's just play this. And it was like at the end, it's like 10, and it made the L, and then it's like 10 Cloverfield Lane, and all the nerds are like, in game, because there was
Is it good?
It was
Very
a great,
good. I
great
own
movie.
both.
Okay, I'll watch it
I
later.
can lend them
I'll
both
watch
to
it
you if
later.
you want.
It's on Netflix. I don't need it.
John Goodman in that movie, oh,
Terrifying.
awesome.
Okay, moving on though.
Awesome.
After all the Star Wars fun stuff that we'll get on Saturday, shenanigans will ensue. But the Panthers decide to fire their head coach, Gallant, after an 11-10-1 start for the Florida Panthers this season. A little odd.
Well, allegedly, there was a philosophical divide between him and the management of the direction of the team. He wanted a bigger team, bigger and stronger. They wanted speed and skill. If you didn't know, over half of the CanucksArmy.com, like stats guys and all their guys, work for the Panthers now. They're just like, hey, we're going to take all your guys. You come work for us in our stats department. So now the running joke is, wonder which Canucks Army guy is going to be the new head coach. Right now it's Tom Rowe.
Tim Rowe is
Tim
the
Rowe.
GM,
So
and he's taken over head coach
Which is
position.
okay.
Interesting, but
Gallant
it's his team.
Gallant was actually 15 wins away from the Florida all-time winning record. Like the most wins by a coach
In
there
2 years,
is 110 wins.
they won their division last year.
Yeah.
with like 100 and some odd points, right?
Yeah, they were quite good.
And they're really having it.
His win percentage
guys-
is the most winningest in.
But this
Florida
is
Panthers
clearly
history.
not. They're having a bad. Like they're probably not doing as well as they want to be. But this is clearly they just didn't want him to be their coach anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
But apparently the players were not happy.
That he got fired?
Yes.
And like,
But
the way it
guys,
happened, too, was
we're also
weird.
overlooking the one thing. I teased it earlier. The real issue is the coach killer in the room. And there's only one guy who has lived through certain eras on teams, famously. And that's James Reimer. It's all his fault.
Yep.
Because once he goes to Florida, they decide to up and fire their coach, and he's lived through, Babcock, Carlisle, Wilson, Horchek. He's the real coach killer in this situation. Any team James Reimer's on, they're going to fire their coach. Hashtag confirmed. Hot take. There it is.
Yeah, who's the
Hot.
new coach then?
Take.
After this,
Yeah.
Peter Horchek.
Oh no!
I'm totally kidding. That's a good question. Like, Tim Rowe's taking over for the rest of the season. I'm sure they're going to be looking... They'll probably look to college, to be honest. Or they'll look to their AHL team to steal that coach.
Oh, maybe they'll go to college.
I don't know what that means.
Where former coach of Nick Bukestad just hit 700 wins with the University of Golden Gophers, Don Lucia, over the weekend. Not
Maybe.
a terrible idea.
Never
Well,
know
they
that.
hired Huberto's junior coach, Gerard Gallant. Why wouldn't they take
Yeah.
Nicky
there
B?
you go.
Is Nicky B coming back anytime soon? He's
I
injured.
think in
know
a
that.
couple weeks he's
They've got
supposed
a
to
lot
be
of
coming back.
Bukestad's injured. Huberto's injured. Who else is injured?
Oh, big boy. I don't know who else, but those are huge names. So why would
Yeah.
you toss your coach over that? But
No, they
obviously,
clearly didn't
They
want
just wanted an excuse, and they were like, "We got to get out." But he's still getting paid for the next 2 years because they re-upped his contract till 2019. But a lot of people are upset the way they did it too because they lost in North Carolina. They fired him after the game.
Yeah.
Didn't get on the team bus. The team did call a car to come get him, but the taxi got there first, so he got in the taxi. So the reporters,
That's shitty.
the picture is a reporter
Just basically
taking
leave
pictures.
him there.
Yep. No, and he had like bags of stuff, and so the reporters are like surrounding him, taking pictures of him getting in a taxi.
More to that, I heard something on that they were talking about it on TSN radio here this morning, and they said because I don't know how many years ago it was, but Guy Boucher got fired in Winnipeg when Tampa Bay was here. They arrived, they flew into Winnipeg, and when they got to the hotel, they informed him that he was being let go. But I guess what they said here is that Tampa Bay put him up in the hotel for the night. They rented him a car and paid for his flight back home.
Yeah.
That's kind of a we're sorry, but we're going a different direction.
We're an NHL team. We
They
can
didn't-
definitely afford to drop.
They
$2
didn't just
grand to send
leave
you home.
him in Carolina and be like, all right, see ya. Yeah, bye.
But I mean, okay,
I get it,
see
but
that
I mean-
that's real mean personally. But if you just remove your feelings from that for a second, he's still getting paid millions.
He's
of
got
dollars.
2 more years
for the
left on
next
his
2
deal.
years. He's
Yeah.
getting paid millions of dollars, and he's already a millionaire. So can we really feel that bad about it? Yeah, he got canned
Probably
publicly,
not.
but so
And I'm sure he'll be coaching for the Canucks eventually.
oh, it's
Vegas.
not Canucks, Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't George McPhee
Yeah.
swoop in?
Yeah.
Do it now. Why not? Barry Trotz, actually, there's a pretty good article on NHL.com. Barry Trotz saying how when he got hired for Nashville, before the season started, he said it was a really different approach because he got to go do scouting and go look at the players that he actually wanted to draft and do for the expansion
Although-
draft.
Let's be real, honest. Was it management wants to go bigger or Gallant wanted to go bigger?
Gallant.
So
Management
is that
was
what you
focused-
want in a coach? Wouldn't you want speed and skill
Yeah,
from George McPhee?
definitely.
So why would you go the direction of Gallant if
That's a good
he's
point.
about, size?
That's
Because
true.
we've learned now that
But
it
Vegas
doesn't
is
work in
playing
the
in
new
the
NHL.
West. That's a bit different.
But is it
Well, I mean,
and that honestly that opens up to why they gave away Lawson Krause to Arizona. Because
Florida.
yeah, because they didn't
What
want
did
the
they
big
get?
player. They
What
wanted
did they get
speed.
for him?
they got rid of Dave Bolin.
It was Dave
Oh my
Bolin, Lawson
God.
Krause for
They had to get rid of Bolin, and that's how they had to do it.
so much dead money on Arizona right now. It's ridiculous.
Oh, have you played? You guys play Chell? Have you played Chell against Phoenix?
Yeah, with it, Datsuk.
Datsuk?
That's great.
He's actually always in
Well,
the game.
yeah.
I haven't played 17 yet.
You're like, oh my god, who's this 13
That's
on
not fair,
Phoenix?
come
This is BS. I thought he couldn't even wear 13. I thought, no, they never mind. Why
What
would
do you mean?
Why would Phoenix retire Solani's jersey when he played for the Ducks, Cameron? That doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I'm just checking the Lawson Krause trade right now.
It was
and why he
Boland for sure.
They just got a draft pick, didn't they?
But I want to know what else was traded for.
I don't think they got a whole lot.
By the way, that Dave Bolin contract was terrible. Way overpaid. for who he was.
$575? Oh.
I'm kind of sad.
And I'm very happy the Leafs didn't sign him for
I'm
that.
disappointed the Leafs didn't sign him for that.
For a 2017 third rounder.
And Gallant? Nope. That's not a
They
pick.
got their coach, yes.
Traded coach.
And we reported this on here, but I'm wondering why they gave away a first round pick for a third round and a second round.
Because of the money. They just needed space. Oh, I know why. They signed Ekblad. Like right after that.
That's why,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way they could have... Oh my god. So Aaron Ekblad's only getting paid $1.5 million more than Dave Poland. That's ridiculous
Yeah, that's
to anyone in the world.
well, and he was making $2.5 million more than Vincent Lecavalier on his last year. Yeah,
Yeah, well, Vinny got a weird way to retire. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, we'll only accept this trade
If you retire.
if you retire.
at the end of the season.
And Vinny's like, okay. And like, if he didn't, LA would it be? They're so lucky they got into that Richards deal. Like,
And the
Dean
Voynok
Lombardi's
deal.
a snake.
Why did
And the Voynok deal.
Yeah,
I can't believe that nobody signed Richards though. He played so well in the playoffs last year.
Maybe
It
they're
is a little
just so
surprising.
worried about the off ice
Maybe.
issues, if there is any. I
Maybe.
don't know.
But like he didn't even get picked up in the AHL or anything.
He's not even playing overseas. Maybe he's just taking a year.
Maybe
Guys, we can-
maybe he didn't want to play.
Guys, we could do a weekend trip.
To
Take a
Kenora.
beer
Go
league
recruit him.
team. Go to Kenora.
Yeah.
Take his team on. What do you think?
And then ask him to be part of the podcast.
That's exactly it. He'll be our call-in correspondent.
No, he won't be calling.
Kenora's Connection.
There we go.
Once a week.
The
We'll
Kenora
have
corner.
Kenora's Corner. There you go.
He can rant about things that he sees in the. He could be the next Don Cherry.
Yeah, we'll start it here, and then he'll take us where he goes.
Yep.
I think he'll leave us for like a sack of taters.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
for sure.
Haters.
Haters.
Moving on.
Yep.
Garrett Sparks suspended indefinitely by the Leafs organization.
Well, how long is indefinitely? Obviously, doesn't.
We don't know. They're going to reevaluate it this week. So they did it last week, and all the reports said they were going to reevaluate the situation the week after.
But does he not? Was he not playing for the Marlies?
He
Or,
was playing for the Marlies.
like starting goalie. Or?
No, he's back up to Bevo.
Oh, so then that.
People.
Okay, so then they can afford to let him.
Well, it's not even that. It's they don't want this kind of stuff to be.
What was the
Around.
situation?
So he is an administrator on a forum on Facebook, kind of a group.
I think it's a website too.
Yeah, so whatever. I think it's like
A forum. Yeah.
it's something to do with secondhand goalie equipment or
Yeah,
like
goalie. I think it's called Goalie Gear Sluts United.
Something like that,
I
yeah.
think is what it used to be called. I'm not sure if they called it Goalie Gear is what it is.
yeah. It's just I think you trade goalie.
Yeah,
gear
like if
amongst
I
each
have
other.
equipment and you
Yeah.
want equipment, I'll be like, hey, I'll put
Yeah.
the post on the forum and then we banter back and forth.
But somebody was being very insensitive to a disabled person on there, and the direct quote written here from Garrett Sparks was,
Kids, cover your ears.
I want to go to open hockey with you, drag you out to center ice, and beat you into a fucking pulp. Now, it just says expletive, whatever that word is. I can't say it. I'm saying it's fucking... Expletive. I'm saying it's fucking because it's the only one that works. Until you can't run that fucking little mouth of yours. God, you sound like a 13-year-old girl. Which got a lot of people upset.
Well, that also
because
sounds
it's
like a 13-year-old boy response.
Exactly.
So.
But it got a lot of people upset because they're like, well, that's just rude and misogynistic. Because he compared to this person to a 13-year-old girl.
But then didn't you
And then
retort?
so somebody said, well, that's kind of misogynistic for you to say. And he's like, you're right. Girls don't even whine as much as this guy does. That was his retort. But that's why he's suspended indefinitely. I want to go to open hockey with you, drag you out to center ice, beat you into a fucking pulp until you can't fucking run that little mouth of yours. God, you sound like a 13-year-old girl. Misogynistic, Garrett. Girls don't even whine as much as he does. End quote.
Could have handled it a little differently.
Yeah. Banning a person. If you don't like something somebody says, it's a lot easier to just not comment and ban the person.
Take it to the side and privately just say,
Yeah.
that's unacceptable, that's why we're removing you. But obviously, too, super easy for us to say this outside of the situation.
But
Yeah.
how, like, there's been times where, like, I see something on Twitter, I see something on YouTube, I see something on Facebook, that I want to say it and then, like, better judgment. And, like, Garrett Sparks is right around our age. Like, it's not that... It'd be different if he was a 30-year-old. like, this is just not acceptable. He's still a young age. You do make mistakes still at, like, 23, 24. The thing is you gotta sometimes use your better judgment. Whether or not you're a or whether or not you're a hockey player in the mecca city of hockey in Canada and North America, you still gotta... You could be out in Arizona and this will still get attention. It doesn't matter where it is. So you gotta use a little precaution. Maybe even go, like, create a fake Facebook account. Do it if this is really what you want to say, but...
Maybe he watched a few too many Trump speeches.
Even Trump
maybe.
would kind of handle this differently.
Wow.
I think there's no place for belittling disabled people. Like, I have...
100%.
I don't think...
I can't stand that, but...
You shouldn't belittle anybody publicly. You shouldn't belittle anybody, period.
Really? What about last week on the podcast, Dan? Jesus.
I don't remember
It was a
this.
friendly...
I know,
friendly
I'm kidding.
Leafs joke.
I know. Friendly many jokes.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
lack of gift-giving.
so now the Leafs are kind of looking into it. Where do you think they go from here? What do you think their next move is? Because you know the Leafs more than
I don't think he's going to play until the new year. I just think they're going to let the situation simmer down. Then when he comes back, and he's only played 4 times this season because he was injured at the beginning of the year, and now he's coming back like he's 3-1 with a 209 goals against average, 918 save percentage. But yeah, I think they're just going to let this situation cool off until after Christmas. Might be the best way to look at it. Obviously, he's going to have to come out at some point and publicly apologize. And he will, like, I'm sure there'll be some sort of statement where he just says, you know, I was very angry about the situation, didn't handle it properly, and, you know, I do feel bad for what I said because I did threaten a person, but, you know, you can't go around belittling disabled people. He's like, I still stand for that. Like, I still think there's 2 ways you can come out of this. The one way saying, you know, I'm very sorry for what I said, and I mishandled it. But you also have to still stand for why you were saying those things. You can't just write the entire thing off. I didn't mean anything I said. I misspoke. You still got to stand on the fact that...
You said it.
And the reason was because you're against disabled people.
Yeah.
Not against, but against people belittling disabled people.
Yeah, no, of course.
Now, obviously, the other thing, to move on, Jack Eichel could return as early as tomorrow for the Buffalo Sabres. Most likely will return this week, so it'll be the first time that he sees action since the beginning of the year. So what does this mean for Boston? Or Buffalo? He doesn't play
Boston.
It means
it's
Buffalo's going to be
pretty
harder to
sweet.
play. That's what it means.
They're actually in our first-line center now.
Now, can
Wow.
Eichel still keep his sweet scooter he's been zipping around the arena in?
I don't know.
Have you seen that thing?
He's
No.
a scooter.
Okay, when you get high ankle sprains, like your whole calf is in a
Yeah.
cast, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a lean-to scooter that you push yourself around on, but it's got 4 wheels. It's so funny. Anyways, I want him to keep it. What does that mean? Well, they got their number 1 center back. Number 2 center back. I would say Ryan O'Reilly's still their number 1. They're going to be more competitive, especially now that, you know what? Depending how Eichel plays, that's going to determine how fast Evander Kane gets left on the trading block / behind.
I don't think it's Buffalo's end that Kane hasn't gotten moved. I think it's no one wants him.
It's a steep price to pay
Well,
for.
they wanted, top 4 defenseman? Is that what they want?
Probably.
Hey, we can get him back, Toby.
I don't think anybody in Winnipeg wants Kane
No,
back.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, why would you
kidding.
do that? You
He's not
evil
coming back here. Are you kidding me?
monster. He might come back here, but not for hockey. I don't know. For like a speaking engagement. I don't know who would hire him.
No.
for
What,
speaking
like the courts?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Evander Kane.
You know who might take him would be Vancouver. Why? Because Jim Benning.
They actually,
That's why.
apparently, they actually did talk, Vancouver and Buffalo did talk seriously about it.
Yeah,
I tried contacting Jim about it. He said he doesn't want to talk until it happens. He's trying to keep it hushy-hush.
Hush.
Yeah, he said, and I quote, hushy-hush.
What does Jim Benning think about the newest team in his division next year, though? The name. What
The
is it?
Vegas,
Where's
I
the
think.
Golden Knights?
Well, he said, and I quote, like, I, not my words, Jim Benning, he's like, I'm going on every goddamn roadie to Vegas. Hashtag can't wait. And I was like, Jim, we're on a phone call. And he's like, hashtag can't wait. I was like, all right, Jimmy. See you in a bit.
I feel like we need to make not Jim Benning and just have you read it.
What?
I think we should have not Jim Benning
Oh,
and have you
Twitter
read it.
account?
Yeah. And just like
It'll be a Don Cherry, Jim Benning, like, mashup. Like, everything will be in all caps.
But the other thing is you would need the voice stuff in there too, because it'd be hilarious. Hilarious.
Just dub over, put my mouth on top of, like, dubbed
Jim
over
Benning.
Jim Benning's face. Well, yeah, they signed Ben Hutton, 2 years, $5.6 million, so that's
Who?
good.
Who?
Guys.
The Canucks did.
Guys.
No, who?
Ben Hutton.
Guys.
Oh, no.
Not Jim Benning already exists.
Does it really?
What?
I swear
Can
to
you
God.
read a tweet from it? This isn't me, by the way.
This is
Not
not
me.
us.
I don't already make this. Okay, read one tweet. Doesn't matter what
trying
it
to
is.
find-
You can't find a good
I
one.
like
The
how we
last
go.
one.
I like how we go from talking about Eichel to Jim Benning.
For some
Yeah.
reason, I can't call other teams. Their phone just keeps ringing. I guess they don't want Lucas Pisa. They're lost.
Speaking of the Canucks, Edler's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. Oh my God. That team,
Again. Injured again.
You think Jim is calling up? He's like, Nolan, get excited, Nolan.
Here's a good one. Goodbranson's agent says they will command $6.5 million per year for 6 years. So glad he's taking a discount for the team. Hashtag Canucks.
No. Did you hear Carl Alsner?
No.
Apparently his next contract's going to be $6 million. And I was like, how do you go from like 3 to 6? His play hasn't like gotten better.
Ask David Clarkson.
Ilya Kovalchuk.
Yeah, cool job.
Or the John Tavares effect. My God, I
Here's
want
a
to play
good-
on his line for like 10 games.
Last one. Wisebrood says, "Hey Jim, what are we going to do in regards to Edom? All I heard was eat, so we went for lunch instead."
And we still need him. All right.
Okay. So, Jack Eichel, what do we think?
Oh my God, Cam, this is you.
Okay.
I'd like to bring Hamuse back. I really would. But did you know we would save $2.39 in our ink fund from his jerseys?
It's the vowels, guys. The U, the A, the U, and the I.
I'm following his Twitter account.
Do it. What do I think of Jack Eichel? Well, they're going to get more competitive, obviously. He's
Are we
very
going to
good.
get the McDavid versus Eichel
No,
narrative
that's dead.
again? Is
That
it dead
gone
already?
with.
You know what is
It's
alive
McDavid
and well?
Matthews.
It's McDavid Matthews or McDavid Kadri.
Kadri for Selkie.
Kadri for Selkie.
Hashtag Kadri for Selkie. Dan, you got one more and then we're done this.
This is another one from you. We have Pierre-Luc Dubois rated lower than Kachuk because of the amount of letters in his name. Ink ain't cheap. Hashtag analytics.
Could we explain? Like, I don't understand the letters thing.
What?
Vowels actually cost more, or
No, it's a
Okay.
joke. I just made it up.
And
Yeah.
this guy knows about it.
Yeah, I haven't.
That's from June.
I haven't seen this. I just went with it as a joke because Vertanen has
That's
a lot
real.
of vowels.
It's real.
But that's like comedians too. Like how like sometimes you could like I've never met a comedian. You have a very similar joke,
Yeah.
unless you're Carlos Mencia. Then you
I
still
think
go.
this guy needs to be aware of the podcast and just like
Should.
direct him to the Jim Benning period and just get him to tweet us out because I think that'd be hilarious.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like
I'll look
we have
at
a
it
guy
after.
who does a Jim Benning impression. Please
Yeah.
retweet.
Can do work together.
Okay, so guys, there's been a tragedy in the NHL to one goalie, and he is making the most of his time, and that's Craig Anderson. His wife was diagnosed with cancer, and he seems to be playing at the top of his level, top of his game that he's ever played. Is he the best goalie in the NHL after Price this season so far?
I'd say he's top 5 for sure.
We'll name the top 5 behind Price. So
Price,
4.
Tuukka,
Dubnyk.
Anderson,
I'd say Anderson then probably.
and then
Lundqvist has been good.
Lundqvist.
Well, I mean,
Talbot's been solid.
Talbot's been good.
Pekka's winning games, but he's not top
He hasn't
5.
been great, no. I'd say 4, yeah.
I'd put him behind Price.
I might even put him ahead of Dubnyk.
Well, you know why I'm
Yeah.
going to put him ahead of Dubnyk and ahead of Rask is the teams that they have in front of them.
That's true.
I don't know. He's very comparable to Ottawa or to Dubnyk. I'm going to put him ahead of Dubnyk though because Dubnyk still has Anderson's got Karlsson, but then Dubnyk's got Suter. So Suter helps defensively because Karlsson just passed 400 points in franchise, which is crazy. But
Anderson has enough.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that's a real
so
big
that puts him
reliability.
up a little higher.
Yeah,
And Mark Mathot.
based off the team in front of him, I'd put Anderson at second.
They're
in the league.
they're emerging to like top 5 territory in the NHL.
Well, did you
Power
see?
rankings.
And speaking of, they got hard-nosed players on their team. Dzingel, half his ear came off because a puck hit him in the left ear, and they had to sew it
I saw
back
that.
on.
Yep.
Man, that is why I can't do stitches. I wouldn't be able to.
You've never had stitches?
No, I have had
They
stitches.
hurt
I
so
mean,
much, I hate them.
I mean, like I wouldn't be able to actually sew a guy's ear back on.
We're
Be
not
like, yeah,
doctors.
this is my job.
We're not doctors. Doctors get paid to do that.
I couldn't do it. I think I would end up throwing
I
it.
think all doctors deep down are what's that word for like they like inflicting pain on people?
Sadistic.
No, that's when you like. Oh yeah, because then a masochist is where you like receiving it.
You hurt yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Or you
sadist.
like pain.
Yeah, so sadist. I think they're all
Like
crazy.
giving out
a little
pain.
bit. I hope my doctor never listens to this because then he's never gonna help me again.
No. But yes, Craig Anderson, I think, has been performing just as well as Carey Price has been.
Yeah,
Or,
I
well,
would
not
say
just
so.
as well, but
Yeah.
has been performing quite
And
well.
especially considering the situation he's in, he's
Exactly.
incredible.
Very different than the situation Price is in.
Yep.
Going back to the Habs, however, they won again on Saturday night. And that was all because of Radulov passing to Galchenyuk in overtime. Is Galchenyuk now proven himself as the number one center
In Montreal, yeah,
in Montreal?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Would you take him on your team as the number one center? Obviously, maybe not Claude Giroux, but...
Okay, no, but say if I'm building a team and like he's one of the options compared to, let's do comparables. Okay.
I feel like
Scheifele, Galchenyuk,
I feel like he's in,
Monahan. Like out of those three, who are you going to take?
I-
I know you're going to be more biased
No,
towards Scheifele.
Turris in there as well.
Turris,
I'd
fine,
throw
yeah,
I
Turris
was
in
gonna
there.
say I feel like he's in Brian Little category right
Perfect,
now.
okay.
Where he's your number one center. You don't know if he'd be number one center on every team in the league, but
He gets the job done.
He gets the job done, and he's still a lot younger.
And he's
Like,
working
still
very
getting
well with Radulov. It's like those deep Russian heritage that he has, even though he's American. That deep Russian heritage is helping him play with Radulov.
That pregame or that video package that CBC put on about Radulov, like, and his connection, they made him seem like he was a human. Because the media that we've seen, it's the only thing that I've known about Radulov, apart from like he played in the Q, won the Mem Cup with the Ramparts and Patrick Roy, was that like, oh, he's just a drunken buffoon. Like that's what the media portrayed. CBC made him like they made it like they interviewed his billet family. They talked with him and like some of his family members. They showed him like coming up into the NHL. And the reason that he went over to the KHL was because he thought he had messed up so bad, like by like embarrassing himself and his teammates by like getting benched for that playoff game.
Yeah.
Is that he thought like he had no other options, and so that's why he went to the KHL. Like he always wanted to stay in the NHL, but he was afraid to like deal with the consequences. Ask what happened, and so that's why he went to the NHL.
He's proving me wrong because I was very critical of that signing at the beginning of the year.
What's the
He's
fine?
been good.
It's not a bad contract at all.
$6 million though. He's never done anything to prove he's worth
But
that. Though.
So, guys-
well, he's led the KHL in scoring.
Yeah,
he was
I-
1 or 2 in the last 4 years.
Now the real question is, how much is Carolina going to offer him next season? Is it $9 million?
Carolina,
Well, yeah, because they offered seven for seven.
$1 million for every fan they have.
So 8.
Yeah.
8 million. 8 million.
I hope it's
5 years.
74 million, just to honor Jacob Slavin from Denver.
I did hear a stat over the weekend that allegedly Shea Weber has more goals this year than PK Subban in all of last year already.
Yeah.
Well, Shea Weber's clearly the better defenseman. He's the woodsman.
I said that.
He's a woodsman Weber.
I said that.
Different situations. Montreal's already pretty established in terms of offense.
But Weber's having a much better year.
The other thing about Montreal is they played 14 of their 22 games at home already this season.
Oh, so
That's
and
a heavy.
And they're 12-1-1 at home
That's a
and
heavy,
4-3-2 on the road. So there you go.
I just want my prediction to come true. I said Weber's going to get more points than Subban this year,
yeah, you and your mean
and I think I
predictions.
might be right.
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
You're not going to like PK when the Nashville plays Winnipeg in playoffs, will you?
Probably not, but I won't like anybody in Nashville.
I like
Guys,
PK.
I had to call...
PK's good.
I called my
he's
credit
good.
card company yesterday just to look into some things. The guy who helped me is like, "Hi, my name's Purnell."
Oh,
Are you
really?
shitting me?
What?
I've PK stands for Purnell Carl.
Yeah.
I've never
Oh,
heard someone
I
named
didn't-
Purnell
I
in
didn't
my
know that.
entire
Yeah.
life.
Purnell
Yeah.
Carl Subban, that's his name.
Yeah, and the guy was based out of Ottawa, so I'm like, "Are you a hockey?" I'm like, "I have 2 questions. Are you a hockey fan?" He's like, "Yep." And I was like, "So how jacked were you when PK got drafted? So you can now make reference to the name." He's like, "I've not done that once." So I was like, "Cool. All right. Have a good day."
Thank you. Did you guys watch the HBO thing on PK?
No!
No, I missed it.
I haven't seen it, but I want to.
No, I want to see
wanna
it
watch
too. We should probably do it for research purposes.
Yes,
Let's talk about it on
I should
the
take a
show.
sick day from work for research purposes.
Yeah.
Should go on another scouting report.
Yeah.
But actually show up to the next podcast after that. So guys, Yager's 8 points away from second all time in points. Ahead of Mark Messier.
Second?
Yeah.
Who's first?
Gretzky.
Well, as the Bear Bonds, but okay. So Yager will be first
So-
in my books. That's okay.
Probably in the next 2 podcasts, he will be second.
Probably by Christmas.
What a Christmas gift that'll be.
Yager
Yager
Second
first
overall.
in the
Miracle.
league. In
Guys,
points.
that'll be my gift for this year. I'll give you guys Yager second overall.
You get a treats of pizza? No, you get a real
Hey,
one.
if you show up with a treats of pizza over Christmas, that'll go a long way.
It'll go
a long
to
way.
fix the wounds of
Yeah, a
years
little
past.
bit.
Or a real
little bit.
pizza.
But if he shows up with Oreo treats of pizza, it's over. I'm smashing in your face.
Score?
What's wrong with Oreo?
I don't like Oreo.
What about score?
Peanut butter cup, is that a thing?
Probably.
Peanut
go
butter.
off Dan.
There's
go off Dan.
there's a
Shannon doesn't
strawberry
Oreo.
banana one.
No!
Score. You gotta go
Strawberry
score.
banana.
I'm just listing the flavors.
Strawberry banana is good for
Well,
a
Greg
smoothie,
had a
not for ice
strawberry.
cream.
Greg had a strawberry sundae every day.
No,
Like years.
cherry.
It was strawberry.
I don't eat strawberry
I
sundaes.
saw you eat them.
They're cherry. What color are strawberries, Cam?
Red.
What color are cherries?
Red.
Exactly. They're the same color. I know
Oh,
what
that's
I
why
eat.
saw strawberry
Why?
bits.
No, they're
They were
not.
bits.
No, they're. I am a cherry
I never
sundae
saw I've
person.
Never
You're
saw
a cherry
me
sundae person, cherry
Yeah.
on top?
No, cherry
Oh, that's
flavored
right, 'cause
sundae.
there are fucking strawberries on top, not cherries, you liar.
How can I lie when I'm the person that did it? I'd be
saw
lying if it was
strawberry
strawberry.
bit.
He's lying to himself.
I would be lying if I said it was strawberry. It was cherry. I know what I ordered.
All right, that's fine.
Simmer. Hey,
What were we even talking about?
Jesus.
Yager. Then treats of pizza. Then we got into a yelling match.
Okay, Yager. That's awesome.
8 points.
How many away is he from Gretzky?
1,008 and a lot.
Okay, let's.
So he's probably not
cut
going to get
Gretzky's
there.
points in half. How far away is he?
He's ahead.
Gretzky, he's ahead of Gretzky.
If you cut his points in
oh,
half.
perfect. So he's going to be number one in my books. Yarmer
Yes,
Yager
for sure.
One.
One.
Oh, dude, Ovi's not that far away from Gretzky goals. Like he's got like 373. I was listening to in a podcast.
373 goals.
Away from Gretzky.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think-
But Gretzky's not top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Is he?
Like goals wise, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
For sure, he's got to be.
I think he's
Don't
number...
look into
No,
it.
I don't think he's number one.
I don't think he is.
Yager's number 3 on that list.
Oh, real?
Yeah. But let's talk about Ovechkin now.
Okay.
He is on pace to outscore the Rocket himself in 100 less games.
You're right. He is for regular season goals.
How many goals does Ovi have?
Ovi's at 540.
Gretzky's got
137, sorry.
Gretzky's at 894 all time.
Or-
Regular season goals, he's first.
And what's Ovi at?
Yager is third on that list. Yager's Yager's 140 goals away.
I'll
There
get
you go,
Ovechkin
here.
here. I'll get his total.
But anyway,
I think it's like 5.
What did you just mention right before that?
Okay, the Rocket himself,
Okay.
he is 7 goals away from
Passing.
passing Maurice Rocket Richard
Okay.
in 100 less games played.
Oh, so we're gonna rename it the Alexander Ovechkin
Ovechkin.
Award. Where we're gonna
Ovechkin has 537 goals.
Yeah, he's third. He's third out of all active players.
Okay, what's 894 minus 537? Okay, don't do
About 360.
I think he could do it.
Well, it's 359.
359?
359, which would mean he'd have to play another 7 seasons of scoring 50 goals a season.
Here's a good
10
stat.
seasons at 30.
Yeah.
Here's a good stat.
terrible.
So this is the top 20 goal scorers out of active players.
Okay.
I guess this player is not technically active anymore, but 14th, Olli Jokinen. He's the 14th highest active goal scorer in the NHL.
Wow.
Interesting.
321 goals.
Jeez.
Yeah. He's ahead of Stamkos.
Well,
and,
yeah, but he
and
played
Crosby
a lot longer.
and Datsuk. I'm just saying though. That's
Crosby's on a tear right now, too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is the trophy that he plays for every year, he's going to pass the guy who it's named after. In 100 less games played, he has 7 goals to get there. So he'll obviously pass him, beat him on
In
pace.
like 3 games, he's going to pass him.
It's amazing because what's the one thing we hear about the NHL all the time? Not enough goals are scored. There's not enough scoring. And the fact that a guy can pass one of the all-time greats is on pace right now to probably finish in the top 5 goal scorers of all time. Probably could eclipse one, potentially, depending how long he can play, because he's 31 now, I believe.
he's got 10 years left at least.
Yeah. If he plays to 40, 42, he might be able to beat Gretzky. Like, realistically could beat Gretzky.
Oh, easily.
If he plays 10 years.
If he's so,
He's had 7
even if he
50 goal
puts up
seasons.
30
Yeah.
a year, he's going to be close, and that's low production for him.
So clearly, more kids have to watch the way Ovechkin plays, even though he's a dirty Russian.
You
Because
know-
no one likes Russians, apparently, because they can't be talented. But how pissed off will the old people get in 10 years? Oh, the fuck is there a Russian at the top of our scoring lists? They'd be so mad. A lot of them are going to just die because
just
there's
as
going to be
mad.
Russians there.
They'll be just as mad as in 20 years when Patrick Laine takes over top spot in goal scoring. So
Wow.
This guy.
You know how many points
That'll be
Ovechkin
the
got
nail-
in his rookie year?
I
tell you.
I don't.
Over
tell you.
100. Him and Cross both.
He got 106 with 52 goals. Now, Laine could get 50 goals.
Nobody gets 106 points anymore.
No, but all I'm saying is he's not going to outscore Ovechkin. Not going to happen. It's so
Not
hard.
thi- not
It's so
this
hard
year.
to be a sustainable goal scorer in the NHL. Look at who has won the Rocket Shard in the past. Ovechkin or Stamkos or Perry, and even those guys aren't sustainable year after year after year after year. The only guy that's sustainable every year has been Alexander Ovechkin. That is it.
Eventually, someone's got to come along that's sustainable.
Well, yeah, but it's so hard in the new NHL, just the way systems are, and he somehow every year it's like, well, I'm at 46 today, and there's only 2 games left in the season. Might as well put up a 4 spot today and not play tomorrow.
Didn't
You
he
know
get
what?
a hat trick in his last game to get 50
4.
last
He
year?
got 4 in his last game, I think, or like 3 and then 1, and then
He
he
had
sat
50.
the last game of the year.
Yeah.
And he
He
high
just won
fived
at
fans
50.
in the concourse.
Yeah,
Ovechkin.
he's the
It's
ultimate
like that
pro.
video of him driving the cart backstage and
Yeah.
the doors going down. He's just
And
like,
Mike Green's like, Ovi! And he's just like, they fully lean back as doors closing.
and he almost died.
And then, that was HBO 24/7. Then it shows how Mike Green gets to the arena.
Yeah.
He's driving on a freeway on a moped. Have you ever driven on a freeway? They're like 80 miles an hour, and there's Mike Green.
That was before the 30-goal season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ken? Before I move to Patrick's Parade.
Yep. All right. So a few injuries. Charles Hudon was out indefinitely with a fractured sternum.
Who?
Charles Hudon, Habs.
Yeah.
What's a sternum? That's what I brought.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really your chest.
okay.
That
Sean
thing
Couture-
that Mark Stone broke when Dustin Buffalo hit
That's
him
what I
last
thought
year.
it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Sean Couture's out 4 to 6 weeks with a lower body injury, which actually the Flyers announced what it was. An MCL tear in his left knee, so he had to have surgery for that.
That's fun.
I wish they announced more injuries. I get why they don't,
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
they did.
What else? Oh, Claude Giroux is now 10th all-time in points, so look out, Gretzky.
All time?
No, 10th all-time Flyers. My bad, homie.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
536 points.
Gretzky never played for Philly, so he can't really catch Gretzky.
Your
He's ahead of Gretzky
Your
in
stat
all-time
pad
points
should-
for
your
Philadelphia.
stat kind of just fell apart.
And I do have comments from the deli as well.
Okay.
I have
Do
an
you want to do
awesome
Patrick's Parade first?
I have
Yes.
a stat that I can get first that
Okay, go ahead.
Go.
I
Stat.
had no idea. This is I find it very interesting. The Arizona Coyotes.
Put one in the jar.
They have not lost a game in regulation to Edmonton in 7 years.
That's nuts.
They're 21-0-4 in their last 25 games against Edmonton. That's ridiculous.
It's pretty nice.
I
It's
didn't,
nice
and
how
I
they're
didn't,
both coming up.
I
at the
didn't
same
even
time,
know
too.
that was a thing until yesterday when I was watching the end of the game.
You actually watched that game.
That's
That's the bigger
I
stat.
had
That's
to kill
a-
time between the Jets game and the Grey Cup.
That's a commitment.
It was
there.
on the fence if I was going to watch the Grey Cup anyway.
Okay, do you want to do Deli first or Patrick's Parade?
Patrick's
first?
Parade.
Patrick's Parade first.
Oh no, wait, no, because you have a big thing. So I'll read the deli because
Okay.
you have fun stuff.
Thank you
All
for
right.
saying it was Big Cam.
Yep, no
It means
problem.
a lot.
Okay, Ryan Lang actually had a bunch of comments. So I'll read all of them. Ryan Lang, Golden Knights sounds dumb. Just call them Knights. Next comment.
Fair
Can't call them Knights
Fair enough. Why?
because London has the trademark on Knights.
Oh.
That's why they had to preface it with Golden. And
They should have gone Desert Knights.
They should have. The other thing is, I also, looking back on it, I really like the Aces name. I really do. But there's also an ECHL team named the Aces. So.
Alaska Aces. Their logo's a polar bear.
Guys, I'm playing against the ECHL right now in NHL 17.
Okay.
Some of those, there's a team called the Gladiators. Some of those jerseys are questionable, but still pretty cool.
Solar bears, huh?
I haven't played the Solar Bears yet.
Do the Gladiators have a picture of Russell Crowe on there?
No.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be
Are you
cool.
not entertained?
That's probably what they say at their games.
Ryan needs comments again. Jets need a winning coach. Can't stand Maurice, but this management is too loyal to fire their coach. Example, look how long it took them to fire Noel. Maurice is not a good coach, and which media would point that out. Oh, that's a scorcher. That's a hot take, Ryan.
That's hot.
One more comment by
Interesting.
Ryan. Wow, he just hardened pink.
I should have mentioned Maurice, but we'll talk
Okay.
about him next week.
I can't stand Maurice putting Liney on the third line. He did this with the Ehlers, and it drives me nuts. And what on earth happened to Kyle Connor? Injury, Ryan. And not the Jets.
He almost
don't
died.
necessarily have line numbers because they just roll 4 lines now, which is great.
Except Thorburns on one of those lines.
Well, but they have no choice.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I get it. Like Maurice does some questionable things, but I think he's very loyal to certain players that he probably doesn't need to be. But I still think he's a good coach. I do.
Cod Nation commented, I want to ask, where are their AHL and ECHL teams going? Oh, for Vegas. I hope one of those comes to Spokane, Washington, and the other one goes to Billings, Montana. That would be cool. Awfully specific. Is there something?
Sure. I'm down.
Aren't the Chiefs still in Spokane? The WHL team, or are they not there anymore?
They have a WHL team.
Yeah, the Spokane Chiefs.
Yeah.
But they're not... You can't have that many nice things.
Make it happen. I like those two cities. Make it happen.
Can they be the Billings dollars?
The what?
I don't know. I was trying to make like billions dollars.
Billings.
Yeah, billions dollars. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
No.
He also commented, I also forgot to add that free agency. They can pick up Kevin Shattenkirk or Joe Thurton. Just add players that are at least not too bad. They can also add the all-star that is Danny Heatley. God, I go.
He's still kicking around. He's in Europe, isn't he?
And then Racist Fan Rocks 4 commented, this one's out there. I don't get it, but I'm going to read it anyways. The Chicago Blackhawks are John Cena. The Winnipeg Jets are Randy Orton. The Flyers are Roman Reigns, always getting booed. The Colorado Avalanche are the Cleveland Browns. The Toronto is Toronto. They still suck, and Montreal lost bad to BJ like Brock did to Goldberg and Ricky Gall, making CM Punk tap. There was not one comma in there. Period. Thank you for all the comments.
Thank you for all the comments.
Where's your Gudis guy? Cam.
Shut up! That's not me, I swear! That wasn't me!
Sure.
Luke, back me up,
Is this
homie.
you too? Is
What?
not Jim Benning you?
No, that's not me. I'm not.
There's a lot of similarities there. I don't know.
Yeah, the letter thing throws me off.
Not
Okay, so Patrick's Parade featuring one signing this year that they've made for a player that's making over $5.5 million or $5 million plus.
Okay.
Fifth last Canucks, who signed who in the offseason? Louis Eriksson.
Beautiful.
Colorado. Now, there's two on this list that they're not busts, but like Louis Eriksson hasn't played well for Vancouver Canucks. Colorado signed Tyson Barrie for a long-term deal, over $5 million a season, over the offseason. However, not a terrible deal. They just spent the money and they're still in the bottom of the league. Buffalo went out and got Okposo in the offseason. Not really working out so far. Arizona picked up Goligoski. They threw a lot of money at him.
He's
Obviously,
over $5 mil?
He's over $5 million. He's making $5.5. So, yeah. Obviously, Barrie and Goligoski, there is still lots of upside to them. However, they still sign these deals.
Isn't Goligoski getting up there now?
Yeah,
Age?
they still sign these guys long term for a lot of money, and they're not in a playoff spot. Then the Islanders, obviously, famously have Vlad. One thing to remember: all these teams have still played less games than the Winnipeg Jets.
Every team in the league has played less games than the Jets, for crying out loud. I actually read something. One NHL executive said the Jets have the worst schedule he's ever seen of any team ever this year, in terms of travel, and their ability to practice and their travel. He said it's the worst he's ever seen.
This is a random GM? Or
They didn't say who it was, but they said the Jets have. He said it's one of the worst he's ever seen. They didn't practice for a month.
That's a long time.
That's a long time to not practice.
Yeah, because if you want to fix anything, you got to do it in game.
Yeah,
that sucks.
And all you have is morning skates with half a team of AHL players.
That's true.
Like,
all right.
Excuses.
Words. Closing words, gentlemen.
You take us home.
No, you.
I gotta go to hockey practice.
So you close it out
now.
now.
No,
Close it.
You do it.
You.
Can we ask Jim Benning to do it?
No, Jim is gone right now. Here,
get him on the line. Get him on the line.
No, I can't. He's busy right now. He's at a game. He's coaching, reffing, GMing.
GMing.
Oh my God, I am Jim Benning.
It's all the same to him.
I am he. He is I. Contact us lastmanNPC@gmail.com. YouTube lastmanNPC.
No,
Twitter,
Last Man in Podcast.
Last Man in Podcast. Twitter lastmanNPC. And where you can listen to us basically anywhere podcasts are offered, primarily Pocket Cast, iTunes, Google Play. Not SoundCloud, specifically not SoundCloud.
Leave your comments on YouTube or email the show.
No one has messaged us
through email.
About wanting Christmas cards.
Good, I don't have to send people my face.
As I say that, I didn't check the emails this week, so that could definitely be a lie. All right.
Let me check the emails.
Oh, we're gonna check the emails right now?
No, I'm gonna check them. No, I'm. You can close the recording.
Well, you gotta say. What do you say to people, Greg?
Thanks for listening.
And Dan.
Happy New Year.
That's not yet.